And we're back, map 2 here, even though there are no scores on our boards. Our first map was a draw, and we are getting right back into it. Are we going to see bans on the Gamagoons?
I strongly suspect if you're Dartmonkeys, you kind of want to try and go for that. And you're going to be the one to get the first ban here, so we'll see in a very short amount of time. My question, though, is if you're Windbreaker, you came out of the gates on your side with a targeted ban onto SK Psylocke. Maybe you run that back. Maybe we run everything back. I mean, it was a complete stalemate on the previous map, and as we go on to this next one here, onto Domination, maybe you're kind of feeling that you can just beat them out in these scrappy fights and hold the point. And there we go. Yeah, there's that, once again, targeted ban onto the Psylocke. Yeah,
no time needed.
Who could have foreseen? If only I had this kind of foresight for the lottery.
That foresight would be super useful. Windbreaker are going to get the first protect here, and guess what? It's gonna be
Gamma Gang time.
Yeah, Gamma Gang. Question is, will Dartmonkeys use their last ban on Iron Man here? Because, well, Eskay did meet the Iron Man quite well. I feel like they might not be her most comfortable mirror match. Although, admittedly, without Psylocke on the table, if she's comfortable there, it could be fine.
It feels like we are kind of running the bans back from the previous one here. And if you're SK, I don't know if you really want to play the Iron Man again. In fact, they're going to ban it outright. Yeah, she's got PTSD from Munched leaping on her from the ground over and over again. And even though she does get the last laugh with that nuke at the end of the last map, she doesn't want to have to go through all that trauma again. And nor does she want to take the duel with Vision, who was getting equal amounts of value out of that pick. So they are going to at least gut the Gamma Gang a little bit here. They're going to ban Rocket Raccoon ban. Okay.
Okay, that's super interesting. Trying to maybe limit Rigsychu's options playing the Punisher. Of course, Rigsychu does have a wide gamut of heroes that she's viable on. Ooh, the Namor. I feel like Shaku just tasted a little bit of spicy chicken. Ooh, a touch of Namor. Interesting.
Well, that is what SK came out with to begin with on the last map before they were forced to mirror the Gamma Gang, so that's not really surprising. What is surprising is, like you said, the Rocket Raccoon ban to try and gut the Punisher from Rigsychu, so that's going to force that Star-Lord duel between Rigsy and Dan Twist, which Dan Twist was kind of getting the better of in the latter map, so maybe this ends up being a good ban phase for Windbreaker.
Yeah, this could have worked out super well. Still, Munched is going to not be able to elicit as much value out of the Hulk by not being able to give over that additional damage to Vision. So I wonder what Vision is going to match on here. Still, the Hawkeye's available. The Hawkeye's made it through a ban phase twice now. It wasn't touched in the previous game. Vision might actually roll out here on the Moon Knight, which would be interesting. That's going to require some very fastidious unk breaking from Dartmonkeys.
Yeah, I imagine you don't want to come out with the Moon Knight though. When you know you're going to be getting a Star-Lord on either side, like, yeah, Namor is not the best at dealing with that. You do have the squid turrets that can kind of put a hurting down on there, but Moon Knight doesn't really have anything to deal with that aerial threat. We're going to see a portal come out early on from Munched on the Strange here for Windbreaker. So with that Bruce Banner banned, you're not going to see Munched going for those big plays again. And with no Iron Man in the sky, I mean, why even bother with the Hulk anymore?
For now, Windbreaker going to take up some early positions on the point. We'll forfeit the high ground to do so, but there's plenty of cover here for those who are playing on the opposite high ground to just plink away. Gieorge and Flats will descend together. Danto's going to try to work the margins here. It's gone a touch too far. Going up against Rigsychu, falling low. Nice click from Riyadh Warlock. Returns the health, and the Soul Bond as well will make sure that damage is democratized to everyone linked together. LinkZr is going to be the first victim here. Vision manages to pick that one up, and Danto still hasn't been removed from this off angle.
Yeah, and it's such a good angle, too, because, like, Dartmonkeys either have to turn their attention to Dan Twist as they come in, who's gonna get all the pocketing from the Adam Warlock and the Mantis. That's a lot of healing to try and chunk through, even for a squishy character like Star-Lord. It's so difficult to dislodge. They're gonna lose Flats late on the exit there, and, I mean, Dartmonkeys, you're kind of wondering, like, where do you actually get the good approach here? Because you're not able to get your Namor and SK set up anywhere beneficial. You're not really getting a whole lot done. In fact, SK is taking a lot of damage. Thankfully, it's in the spawn, so the healing is there, but you're not really able to route yourself to the point effectively here without taking a beating to get there.
Rigsychu playing a little bit tighter to the team right now. Early plays coming through from Devin. Going to be matched by Wanted. Plenty of healing for all and sundry. As Gieorge gets closer to the strangling prison. If only brave enough to use it, Sakura. Noted as well. Maybe a play in towards the back line. An isolated player, potentially. Verity's strangling prison. Oh, the wave on top! Unreal fish fillet delivered by Dartmonkeys. Oh, man, it's getting me hungry.
Yeah, Dantwist gonna be the last to fall there. Has the cocoon. Rez is gonna opt not to use it there. Very wise. I don't think you want to take that 1 versus 6 right there. What a combo though from Gieorge and Eskay. A little bit of a whale just dropped right on top of you and you got nowhere to go. That is quite the way to go out.
Tactical whale strike. Not to be underestimated. Rigsychu playing with the squid here for a bit of peeling. An unfair duel, maybe. And the Mantis up here as well. Could get a very short-range sleep if only it's going to be able to be delivered. Dantwist in the back. Galactic Hero. Flats is going up to meet them in the air. Raises the shield, yes. And everyone else is going to have to go back to the healing.
Dartmonkeys do manage to hold on with that Fate of Both Worlds there from LinkZr, but they lost Wanted earlier. That kind of forced that ult out. Oh no, Riggsy got the ult canceled.
Agamotto used on the other side as well. It might have just been onto Vision, but I think it was blocked out by the bubble. Vision lays down the whale, but no one's there to grab it. Instead, just instantly resurrected back into the fight. The auspices of Adam Warlock serve Vision well, and this should be a flip here in favor of Windbreaker.
And another late kill there onto Flats. You're able to get a little bit of extra percentage there for Dartmonkeys, but that is nothing that Windbreaker can't match here. And with the Eye of Agamotto and the Mantis ult both coming online for Windbreaker, they have all the tools they need to get another 20-30% out of just one good ultimate here. I think Eye's going to be on Munch to see where we opt to use this stun.
Yeah, a lot's going to fall onto Flats here to
Eskay's going to fall on the floor.
Deal with that. Yeah, Eskay falling down. This should be calling it right here already for Dartmonkeys. Don't want to waste any time, but Munch is not going to waste any space either and instantly moves up to just keep the pressure on.
And that 30% that I said on that hold with Eskay falling there, that just turned up to 40%. Now we're going to be at 80 and counting in total for Windbreaker. Portal comes out from Flats. Very smart. Dartmonkeys, they're going to be able to come close to getting the flip here, but the ults are still in favor of Windbreaker.
Yeah, close to the flip already. Sakaki down. Does have a cocoon available. Munch looking for a way in with this ultimate super low. Might not want to risk it too early here. Heads to the sky with their own name. Or actually is going to match Eskay up there. And Vision is just getting so much done off the back of the squids. Flats falls low. And without the flip, it should be over now in favor of Windbreaker.
I mean, that's 2 ultimates on the side of Dartmonkeys that you can carry on over to the next sub-map, but Windbreaker, they're also going to have that Eye of Agamotto still, which I keep highlighting as a fight-winning ultimate. The fact that you weren't able to even force that out of Munch, I think, is going to come back to bite Dartmonkeys unless they can quickly build Flats up to one here on the next map, but this is looking pretty strong in favor of Windbreaker. I think the ban phase is very much so winning out for them, and I was talking about those ultimates that looking across the board, save for Devin, just about everybody on the side of Windbreaker is coming up on a huge tool. This first fight, I think, has no excuse not to go Windbreaker's way.
Yeah, and also one of the things that's going to be most important here is the mobility deficit that's going to be had with Flats having used that portal in the previous fight. It's still on cooldown for a minute and a half. Munched has their own available here to be able to determine when and where the fight happens.
Tell me you didn't need your powers to see that one.
I'm wondering exactly. I don't think that we're going to be seeing any swaps here. And by the way, I want to highlight one other difference in the team compositions. You do have the double overpowered support ultimate with LinkZr on the Luna Snow, but you have the res from Sakaki as well as the cocoon res for Devin. So you have more staying power for your Mantis, so you can get a lot more value out of these seeds as long as you can keep your Mantis alive in the fight. That's a great portal, by the way, from Munch to get the team on the high ground early. Dartmonkeys kind of forced to play in a suboptimal position here, sort of stuffed back in a cave, and that's exactly where Windbreaker wants to keep them. Yeah, putting Gieorge, having 2 shields between him and a successful strangling prison, super important when it comes to mitigating the potential for that combo being overly viable. Already, the Galactic Hero coming out from Dantwist on the off angle. It's going to be Gieorge who tries to turn this one around. Eskay, are they going to commit to it? You better believe it. However, already dead. Bunch of fists given over. Blasts everyone down elsewhere. 2 tanks resurrected. The Vanguards have returned. Sakura takes to the skies looking for a mid-air. Maybe. No, where's that going? Sakura, it's a bit of an aim challenge with the asteroid aim, and you know what? Cosmically,
isn't quite feeling the accuracy. The Eye of Agamotto blasts Namor and Sakaki from their bodies, and Eskay and Gieorge are more than happy to try and follow that one up. Munch still has the Eye of Agamotto ready. If only they're brave enough to use it. Dartmonkeys are already in control, by the way, 32%. It's kind of getting away from Windbreaker here in such a long fight, but still, fighting out seems to have been the right play. Sakaki picks up a bunch, and that's going to be a point flip.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier on how they had Dartmonkeys just stuck back in this cave and were trying to keep them there, but Windbreaker take a little bit too long to route over to the point. Dartmonkeys actually beat them to the punch, get the early cap, and Windbreaker are on the back foot for a large part of that. Had it not been for Sakaki building up that Adam Warlock ultimate and getting the res online, Dartmonkeys easily could have stepped that all the way up to 75%. 40% for them is definitely nothing to sneeze at, but this Eye of Agamotto from Munch needs to come out to stop that from happening.
Oh, Munch getting a double off the back of the Eye of Agamotto. Super valuable. And of course, LinkZr. Oh, Flats just jumps out of there. Unfortunately, the portal is a touch too high there for LinkZr to join them even after the self-resurrection. And Gieorge is forced to reset off the map.
It's just like Disneyland. You are not tall enough to ride this portal, unfortunately, LinkZr. You're gonna have to go wait in line while the rest of your team has fun on this ride. And while the rest of Windbreaker now going to surpass Dartmonkeys' capture percentage, they do have a whale of their own to try and use on this approach here. Dartmonkeys have to try and build up to some of these ultimates they're coming up on. That Strangling Prison like we talked about, and a whale of their own. That combo that won them the point briefly in the last sub-map. They're going to have to try and find a way to leverage it again.
Heading down a choke. It's desperately damaging. Still, the soul bond is all that's needed to keep many alive. Great play there coming through from the side of LinkZr. Dantwish just works the margins. Almost has this ready. Gieorge has the Strangling Prison. Eskay has the whale. It could be a ruinous combo here if Dartmonkeys only have the power to execute on it. But Dantwish constantly is threatening this off angle. Keeping those tanks coming back. Keeping Wanted from using all of their resources too early. And guess what? Vision's returned already. Gieorge is taking too much damage. It's a double squid kill. Now that's what I call a squid game.
And Dantwish has the major fight-winning ultimate, by the way, and he's going to pop it right now, and Eskay able to get out of dodge, but out of dodge means off the point, which means you can't stay in contest. Wanted's going to fall, courtesy of Devin, and there we go. Eskay peeks out again. She knows she has to. No choice. The res coming out from Sakaki, and now we're into overtime here. Dartmonkeys have to try and make something stick.
Plenty of feeling given over by Wanted. Gieorge and Eskay try and work this one together. Doesn't invest the whale this time. Waits a second longer because the follow-up's already been there. Great economic plays here from Dartmonkeys, keeping their nerve, but they've run out of second chances. One last fight, and this is over.
I called out Sakaki's res, but at the same time, LinkZr mirrored it, and that's what's able to keep Dartmonkeys in the fight. They're going to have the Eye of Agamotto, and they're going to have Eskay's whale to drop on any unsuspecting member of Windbreaker. But that Mantis ultimate is doing a lot of heavy lifting for Windbreaker's composition. That is a ticking time bomb if ever there was one. And they might actually just use this teleport from Munch, pop that, and try to find the fight win outright that way.
Yeah, just two tanks on the off angle. The Vanguard's got plenty of staying power. And now Munched and Flats are going to have to meet once again in the corridor. The whale does so much. It's going to be a counter whale here directly on top of LinkZr. Soul Bond makes sure the damage is democratized. It's for everybody. Eye of Agamotto blasts souls from bodies, and Munch just chews through them. There are no Dartmonkeys remaining, and this is surely going to be it for our Wakanda domination map.
Yeah, Flats tried to mirror that Eye of Agamotto, but through all the overhelp that comes through from that Mantis ultimate, just like I said from Devin, you're not going to be able to get enough damage done in time to actually capitalize on any of those stuns, especially if the rest of your team is also stunned, courtesy of Munched using the Eye of Agamotto as well. So not just a Bruce Banner one trick, not just a surface-to-air missile, but also quite the threat on the ground when it comes to some of these more grounded tanks, like the Doctor Strange, able to get the better of Flats in a lot of these exchanges. Very strong macro play coming out from Windbreaker.